Hi and welcome. I'm Oracle Asherah. This is an angel guided energy reading for all mutable signs. We are talking to Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. Okay, let's begin. Okay. All right, so I feel like some of us have been doing some research, some growth, some investigating, some digging, some deep diving into some things, and having some shifts in perspective, welcoming in new wisdom and knowledge, and presently is trying to go through the path of integrating that into our world, our daily life. Okay. My advice here is to have some patience because this can be kind of a frustrating part of the journey, is integrating knowledge and wisdom and bringing that to be into our present life and our daily. Okay. So as we shift in perspective, we have to also shift daily skins of ourself. Okay, there's going to be death to what we used to be, death to what we used to know, think, believe, and feel. So this is going to allow some deep growth, but also some uncomfortable, vulnerable state. Okay, so do have some patience. There will be some light and joy at the end of all this. Okay. Yes. So when our new wisdom kind of rests in our soul, and we become our new beliefs, our new consciousness and awareness, things will become a little bit more easier. Okay. Yeah, we just need to remind ourselves that everything is great, right? Everything is perfect and great. Okay. Changes, divine timing, transformation, perception, past, present, and future, and self-love. All right, I love the last one, self-love. Okay, so that is compassion, forgiveness. As we become more aware, we need to remember that we can only do as good as we know, and when we know more, we do better. So forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, forgiveness of teachers, parents, even our predators, because it's all been part of our learning and growth experience, right? So as we change, accepting divine timing, because I wish I knew this sooner isn't feeding or helping your present or future, right? You are learning this now because it is of value, because of everything you've gone through, everything you've learned, experienced, and healed from this far. This allows you to be in the perfect divine timing to receive this information to better yourself and then therefore the world. Okay. Transformation, again, that is the integration of all this information, the transformation of your spirit, your body, the transformation of your beliefs, right? So it's okay to evaluate your core beliefs. What do I still believe? Do I believe that? Was that our survival mode, survival path? So it's good to spend some time evaluating these things for yourself and freeing that load from your inner child. So therefore, that magic can become present in your life. Perception, because as our perception changes, our whole world changes. So those aha moments are fantastic, but yet can be hard, can also be painful and confusing. Okay, but allow truth to set you free. I love that statement. All right, so again, so spend time with yourself, your higher self, connecting to spirit, and sitting in your truth. Okay, so your emotions, your beliefs, your feelings, becoming aware of the healing work that you've done, the healing work that you need to do. Okay, past, present, future, they all play a hand, right? So the most important day is today, in this present moment, right? So past would be your inner child, present is you, and your future is your higher self. So I like to integrate all these things when we meditate and pray. All right, self-love. Love yourself, right? So take time for yourself. Take time for yourself. Do some healing things you like. And again, this is for yourself. So shed the emotion. Cry. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of who you were, who you want to be, and how to get there. Like you're going to navigate through all this with ease. I swear, I promise. Stripping of the illusions can be, again, confusing, but you have to give yourself time, because as things congeal, as things set, things are always better the next day. So just allow the time to work for you, okay? Anger in the self can be quite destructive. So be conscious, be aware, allow your anger to come up and expel out of you, but not in a way that you lash out at people or you're self-destructive or doing hurtful or harmful things to yourself or others, but in a way that you're observing and nurturing the self that has carried that anger, why that anger exists, what can we do about that, right? Helpful things, helpful questions, self-love. All right, focusing on the self. What do we need to know? All right. I like to try to see God in everybody, everywhere, anytime. Okay? A lot of times in my life, God has shown up through complete strangers. Okay? And that could be through a helping hand, through an act of kindness, through even someone like acknowledging my existence in a situation that they observe and be like, I see you. Sometimes little things, right? So be aware of God in self, right? We can be someone's blessing or someone's lesson, right? So when you're out and about, be kind. If you can offer help, offer help. If you can be just aware that, if you can't be anything, just be kind, right? When we're someone's lesson and we're causing them pain, or we're wagging a finger, or, not to say that discipline and, showing somebody that, hey, this isn't working or conducive to yourself or society or whatever it is, if it's helpful and coming from the right place, that's okay. But if you're doing it because you're just angry, you're doing it because you're frustrated or annoyed, that's not helpful. Okay? So be God present in your daily life to people. So God can work through us, our hands to the world, right? So, when we pray or meditate, connect to your higher self, connect to spirit, God, your angels, whatever it is, your language, and be that higher vibration, be that frequency, be that consciousness and awareness, and bring that and integrate that into your life and your relationships in the world. Okay? The shadow to this energy is cruelty, using this to control or manipulate people, or to feed some ego type situation where you're pretentious. Okay, that's not God. God is forgiving. God is compassionate. God is helpful. God provides. So therefore, we bring those energies into ourselves, our relationships in the world, we are being better people. Okay. Okay. So our inner child is carrying our whole life story, birth to present. And it is very difficult to learn to let go of things. It's learning to go it and do it alone, right? And conquering fear of surviving. So when we have this orphan type energy, there is a lot of freedom that comes with this vibration and energy, because we are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for our happiness, our peace, our state, our actions, right? So when you are having that as a strength, is I am responsible, I am capable, I am confident, those are wonderful things, okay? If we are diving into the shadow, feelings of abandonment, seeking inappropriate validation or relationships quite often come with unhealed energies around this vibration of self. Okay, so just be aware of relationships with benefits, right? I'm in these relationships because there's a benefit. No, you're in a relationship because you are loving. You're providing and creating a space for someone to be safe, felt and heard and loved, and then for them to reciprocate this. This is love. This is a relationship, and that creates a house and a space of growth and abundance. Okay, so be very careful about what type relationships you're seeking and why. The why is the big deal. So when we heal the why, we stop attracting energies, people, and situations that teach us lessons to address this abandonment issue in ourself. Okay, so this is a big one. Abandonment is big, especially when you're used to it and you get used to it and you expect it. That is that's pining for a whole level of karmas and lessons. Okay, so if you can love yourself and address this part of what's unhealed in that poor inner child, again, that's birth to present, you're going to change that energy, that shift, that attraction in your life and your relationships. Okay. Okay, yeah, I do see you are seeking truth. You are seeking information, development. Okay, this is good. Be careful of falsifying information because it suits whatever benefit that you're housing yourself in. Okay, and that's your emotions, your thoughts, your purpose, your path, right? So quite often when we carve out our path, we're avoiding, we're not guided, and we're not in alignment. Okay. I feel like there was a little more there. Let's see. Okay. All right. So sometimes we desire to balance the scales of justice, you know, to be the karma, to be righteous in some way, and your benefit and belief is I'm doing this for myself or society. Okay. This, I mean, the world all needs heroes, but be more focused on being the hero to yourself. Okay, bring that energy to yourself, because quite often we're avoiding that inner child, and like we were just talking about, like just for example, these abandonment issues that might be yours. By ignoring those, we now take on this avenger persona in order to have a balance. Okay, but this is avoidance. This is also disruptive and possibly harmful to self and others. Okay, so be the hero to yourself. You know, draw the attention and the fingers back to yourself rather than the world, the predators, the problems. Okay, take it back to yourself. Keep it in your home, and therefore, when you're better, you do better, and therefore, the world is reflected in what you are. Okay, so when you are reflecting greatness, ascension, transformation, abundance, love, you're going to attract those kinds of energies, and you're also going to inspire those kinds of energies. So that to me is a way more powerful avenger than trying to keep balance of what you're missing in self. Okay. Yep, that was that. Okay. All right. Let's focus on the self. Okay. All right. We all like to be in our rewards. We all like to sit and enjoy and reap our successes, be the high vibration and frequency, but be careful you're not boasting, bragging, right? So when we are out in the world and we're sitting with people, focus on listening, focus on understanding. You don't need to be on a soapbox trying to heal and help everybody. I'm not trying to put out your fire and your big heart, but sometimes we involve ourselves too deeply, and that could be emotionally as well as being overly generous with our time or our money or whatever it is. So rather than being out of balance with your boundaries, sometimes people just need an ear, okay? Something to bounce something off of. So I like to say, keep things simple, all right? And that's going to protect you from being over emotionally involved, taking on other people's energies too deeply, taking things home with you, okay? Boundaries, better boundaries, all right? So now we're moving back into seeking the truth, seeking information, instead of doing it through other people's work, through books, or now through like social media or situations. Look for the guidance that's directing you internally. Okay, look for the help that is going to help you connect with yourself. Okay, so that is your inner child and your higher self. These are you, past, present, future, you, present. So when you're meditating and praying, this is the present you. When you're learning to sit neutral, you are able to hold space for your story and your future story. Okay, and that also holds space for the connection of your soul to spirit, God, angels, guides, whatever it is that's going to provide you with that wisdom. So really dive deep into retreating and connecting with yourself. Okay, and that's going to help with your perspective. That's going to help with stripping the illusions. When you retreat and you start focusing on yourself, you're going to start seeing things differently. You're going to have time where the false is going to fall off. Okay? All right. And yes. So in that time of retreat, your perspective is going to change. Your beliefs and emotions are going to change. And therefore, you're going to feel differently about things, say a week from now, a month from now. Okay? So allow that time to be working for you. Okay? And in the meantime, just understand and know you are doing the best you can. You're doing the best with what you have. You're doing the best. Okay? All right. And if you are pining for a relationship and you're pining for companionship. Understand that you have work to do, and so does your soulmate, and you will meet. Okay, so you're building a life for them right now. As you are praying, they are building a life for you right now, and that is making ourselves, our avatars, the best it can be. Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to read this to you. It's not my best skill, but we're going to try. All right. A mystery is to be unveiled. A new clarity around your direction is unfolding. Be willing to wait for the full reveal, but also recognize what is happening at this time. You will be gaining valuable insight into where you're being led and for what purpose. All right, guys, we'll see you again soon. Take care.